Okay, some solving inequalities practice. Alright, so let's take a look at these. So, we're deciding first if these are true or false. Okay, so the notation 12 is less than x means the same thing as x is less than 12. Okay, just like 12 is equal to x and x is equal to 12. Is that true or is that false? Well, this means different than this, right? So that would be false, because this is saying x can be 13 or 14 or 15 or so on, whereas this one is saying x has to be less than 12, so it has to be like 11, 10, or 9. Okay, so they're definitely not the same, so it doesn't work to flip them around. Okay, unless we keep the same thing like that. 2. The inequality negative 2 times x plus 10 is greater than or equal to 75 says the same thing as negative 2 minus 20 is greater than or equal to 75. I can multiply by negative 2 on the left side without reversing the inequality symbol. Okay, so think about that when we distribute. Does that affect this part? Does that affect our answer? It changes it, it simplifies it, but it doesn't affect it. So that is true. 3. When solving the inequality 10x plus 22 is less than 2, the second step should say 10x is greater than negative 20 because I added negative 22 to both sides and I got a negative number on the right. Okay, so yes, we would subtract 22 from both sides. Okay, and we'd get 10x, but we wouldn't change the inequality because we subtracted. When we subtract does not change the inequality, so that would be false. That should stay how it was facing. Okay, 4. When solving the inequality negative 5x is greater than or equal to 45, the answer is x is less than or equal to negative 9 because I divided both sides of the inequality by a negative number. So here we did divide by a negative number, and yes, when we divide by a negative number, the inequality changes direction, so that is true. Number 5, the words that describe the inequality x is greater than or equal to 10 are x is greater than or equal to 100, which kind of said it already, so we definitely should know it's true. Kind of hard to read something out loud and read it the wrong way. Okay, but yes, those mean the same thing. Alright, now, solve inequalities. Verify that the given numbers are elements of the solution set. All that means is it's part of the answer. So, x equals 6. Is that part of the answer? Well, 2 ways we can check it. I can plug 6 in and go 2 times 6 minus 9 and get 12 minus 9 and get 3. Is 3 less than 3? No, it is not. So 3 isn't part of the solution set. The other way I could have done it is I could have actually solved the problem. And I would go like this, and it says x is less than 6, not equal to. There's no equal to, so that's why another way I could say that it didn't work. Okay, number 7. So again, I could try to solve this first and get 4x is greater than negative 12. Divide by 4, and I'd get x is greater than negative 3. Okay, so negative 5 is actually smaller than negative 3, so it would be a no. Oh, I guess I should have circled up there. Okay, it's not part of the solution set. Again, I could have taken that negative 5 and went 4 times negative 5 plus 25, and I would have gotten negative 20 plus 25, and got 5 is greater than 13, which that is not true either, so that would tell me it didn't work either. Kind of two different ways to think through it, but it works. Okay, so let's do one solving and one the other way. Let's solve this one. So I add 4 to both sides, and I get 6x is less than or equal to negative 24. Divide by 6, and I get x is less than or equal to negative 4. Okay, so is negative 10, would that fit there? 10 is less than or equal to negative 4. That is true, so yes, it works. Okay, and then number 9, we plug in a 1 for that. 3 times 1 is 3, minus 5 is negative 2. Is negative 2 greater than or equal to negative 5? Yes, it is, so that is part of my solution set. Okay, again, I could do the solving. Would have had 3x is greater than or equal to 0, divide by 3, x is greater than or equal to 0. Plug in 1 for x, and yes, it's still true. Same way that I could have plugged in a negative 10 here and got negative 60 minus 4. Negative 64 is negative 64 less than or equal to negative 28? Yes, it is. Alright, now let's solve these and graph them on the number line. So subtract 9 from both sides, and I get x is less than or equal to negative 2. So negative 2, it's got an equal to, so it's filled in. Okay, remember, if it has an equal to filled in, so that one will be filled in, all the rest will be hollow. Okay, then is x bigger or smaller? Well, x is less than, so variable smaller, okay, smaller variable, we go to the left. Bigger variable, we go to the right. So add 4 here first. Get negative 3x is greater than 6. Divide by negative 3, remembering that with inequalities, I divide by a negative number. I change this direction of my inequality. So I get x is less than negative 2. Okay, so negative 2, a hollow circle. X is less than, so I shade to the left. Okay, number 12, divide by a positive 3. Okay, becomes x is less than negative 2. So negative 2, again a hollow circle, and x is less than. Okay, 13, x divided by 5, so I times both sides by 5. Becomes x is greater than 5 times 3 is 15. 15 over 10, I can reduce that to 3/2, or 1.5. So negative 1.5, because we kept the negative. So at negative 1.5, I have another hollow circle about right there. X is greater, so we finally shade to the right. Okay, 14, divide by a negative 10 on both sides. I get x, but because I divided by a negative 10, change the inequality direction, and I get negative 15. So x is less than negative 15. Hollow circle of 15, x is less than. Number 15, I times by a negative 7. So I have x, because I times by a negative, becomes less than or equal to negative 5 times negative 7 is a positive 35. So fill the hollow in circle at 35. X is less than, so I shade to the left. Okay, so just a few more problems to do. Same idea. This one first I times by 2, giving me 1 plus v is less than 20. Subtract 1, and v is less than 19. Hollow circle at 19, v is less than, shade to the left. 17, again, start by multiplying first, because first we'd add a negative 6, then we divide by 2. So we do the opposite, times by 2 in reverse order, and then we'll add by 6. So I get negative 6 plus x is less than negative 22. Add 6 to both sides. I get x is less than negative 16. So, again, a hollow circle at negative 16. X is less than, shade to the left. 18, distribute. Negative 42 is greater than negative 7x minus 7. Add 7. Negative 35 is greater than negative 7x. Divide by negative 7. Okay, I get a positive 5 because I had a negative 7 I'm dividing by. Change the inequality, and I get x is greater than 5. Hollow circle of 5, and x is greater than. Okay, number 19, again distribute. 8b minus 40 is less than negative 80. Add 40. 8b is less than negative 40. Divide by 8, and b is less than negative 5. So negative 5, draw hollow circle, b is less than, shade to the left. Okay, number 20, we clear some space. Rewrite this one, 2 minus 3 times 4n minus 2 is greater than negative 88. So 3 times negative 3 times 4n, negative 12n, negative 3 times negative 2, positive 6 is greater than negative 88. Same side, so I can combine them. Negative 12n plus 8 greater than negative 88. Subtract 8. We get negative 12n is greater than negative 96. Divide by negative 12. That becomes n. Because it was divided by a negative, change the inequality. And negative 96 divided by negative 12 is some number that I probably should know. I believe it's positive 8, right? That sounds about right to me, but I'll double check it just because I might not be sure. Yep, it is. So, at 8, hollow circle, n is less than, again, I shade to the left. Alright, then that last one, so 5x minus 23 less than or equal to negative 7 times 1 is negative 7. Negative 7 times negative 3 is a positive 21x. Now, I could take and subtract here and end up with a negative variable, and then I'd have to flip the inequality symbol, which works, but I'd rather go this way. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. That way I just get negative 23 on one side. 21 minus 5x would give us a positive 16x. Add 7 to both sides. And we would end up with negative 23 plus 7 would be a negative 16. It's less than or equal to 16x. Divide by 16. Because down here isn't negative, I keep negative 1 is less than or equal to and x. So negative 1 filled in circle, and x is bigger, so I shade to the right. Okay, there we go, guys.